Hey, board gamers, BJ from Board Game Gumbo here, back in the Gumbo Pot. It's another episode of Gumbo Live, episode number 145. Gumbo Live, the number one Facebook Live talk show in Rain, Louisiana. That's right, I checked, and we are number one. We're going all the way to the top. I don't think anybody's going to take us over there in Rain. It's dedicated to board gaming. Our special guest tonight, I mean, is he really a guest? He's one of the keys to the show, DJ Bell, game designer and president and CEO of Panda Manufacturing. He didn't check the show notes, so I left it in there. Hit us up on social media. I'll get Jay to fix that, but hit us up on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook. I even highlighted it, Steve. I put it in yellow highlight to make sure he saw that. Hit us up on Twitter or on Facebook at Board Game Gumbo, and we'll be looking for your questions in the chat crew tonight. But it's not just me. I've got a whole panel. I've got DJ Bell, the Gumbo Lord, and the Name Father. We're back together again.
Hi, friends.
Hey, y'all.
Good morning. Hello, all.
Hello, Mr. CEO. Where are you now, Mr. CEO of Panda Manufacturing?
Well, I'm about to be looking for a new job now that somebody's going to give me.
No, it's DJ Bell, and you do work for Panda Manufacturing.
Yes,
You're
yes.
a pre-press
specialist and account manager. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's funny. I made that joke at PAX actually that I was the CEO and owner, and someone was like, "Wait, what?" And I was like, "No, I'm joking.
It's a callback. It's a classic callback. I had no idea. I highlighted there, and then I forgot to talk to you about it. So I wanted to do that. So DJ Bell, you've been on the show many times, but never as the featured guest, right, Steve?
I don't know.
I don't think he's ever been there.
I think his name has made it into the title sometimes, but I don't know if he's been the one and only.
Not as a guest.
Not that I can recall.
We have Cosmic Beat checking in. Cosmic Beat comes watch on Twitter, on Twitch, on our Twitch streams on Tuesday nights. Thank you for checking out the show. So DJ Bell, tell everybody, where are you and what are you up to now? Because you're not in the Gumbo Pot every Tuesday night like you're supposed to be.
Yeah, that's true. I'm currently in Princeton, New Jersey. I have relocated to the Northeast for the, I guess, like semi-foreseeable future. This is the long-term place that I'm going to be. And yeah, I'm closer to Steve now. He's right across the river water area in New York. And I'm right here in New Jersey. I'm probably going to be out there this weekend, actually, Steve. So
I think that's Lake Ontario, if I remember right. If I know my geography, right?
Yeah,
that's the one. But yeah, no, I'm closer to a lot of conventions. So I got to go to PAX, you know, Button Pub Prime is this way. There's Metatopia in New Jersey, so it's nice.
Metatopia coming up. Say hi to Vinny, our friends from Dex Envoy over there at Metatopia. They've been running that Metatopia convention for a long time. I've always wanted to go to that one. That actually looks like a pretty good one. And they have some design elements too, if I remember right?
Yeah.
Okay. For sure. What's happening on the design
front? That one.
Metatopia? Yeah, it's an East Coast thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Metatopia is mostly for, as far as I know, it's like huge for playtesting, and they really like cater to what the designers need. Yeah.
What's up on the design front? Anything going on?
Yeah. So at PAX, I actually did 2 sessions in the Unpub room, and I got in a total of 16 playtests of Pippin.
Oh, wow. 16 of Pippin? Yeah. Is that more, Steve, than we did at Auburn? I can't remember.
It's got to be, yeah. I mean, and hopefully they were better than me and Evan. Did they keep the dice inside?
Mostly.
For
So
the most
Pippin
part.
is my dice dexterity game, and it's been kind of compared to Strike. There's a lot of different elements there, where there's this 45-degree, these canals that are in the board, and depending on which one of those you land your die in, you get to either remove it for points or remove it for like little powers that you can do to manipulate the dice. And if you miss the board, you kind of lose a little bit of advantage on this tug of war situation that's going on, kind of Seven Wonders duel style. And no, it was great to play test that at PAX.
You got some good feedback?
Yeah. Lots of people that when I met for the first time, and a couple familiar faces got to play. Aaron Bradley from Game Enthuse.
Yeah, sure.
Gil Hova, I got to meet Gil, and he played Gave me some
cool.
great feedback.
I was actually surprised that Gil was there because he had kind of talked about stepping away from the, just kind of taking a break from the board game industry totally. But I guess maybe he's just a player now, right? An enthusiast.
It's true.
Yeah.
He might be free to do things that he'd like to do rather than the company needs done.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you played any of Gil's games before, Jay?
Can't recall if I have. No.
I feel like Wordsy is a game you would like. If you haven't played Wordsy, maybe next time you're in town, we can play that.
Is Sagrada his too?
That's
who am I thinking?
Adrian Adamescu and
Adamescu
and Daryl.
Okay. Daryl Andrews is who I was thinking of.
Yeah, who I got to finally meet, by the way, Jay, at BGG Con.
Nice.
Yeah, we have, he's been in our chat many times, and I like interacted on social media, but never actually saw him in person. And he came up and said, "Hey," and he was like, you always said I was going to be on the show. I was like, man, we got to get that. We got to get that happening. So at one time we were going to get Daryl on the show, and we just lost track of it.
Yeah.
So, Daryl, we still have you on the list. We're gonna get it done. So he was. We only got a brief chance to talk because we were both going two different places. But he seems like a really cool guy.
Yeah.
Glad you got good feedback on that, Jay.
Yeah. I'm really excited about what's in the cards for Pippin. And after playtesting that pack, so I'm gonna go home to Lafayette and get the Dobbler Deluxe experience. We're finally gonna build a plastic tray for the game. And see how that affects the toss, the bounciness of your dice, and things like that.
The Dobster is a just extraordinary 3D printing guy. So so we'll finally see what it should look like then, right? That's nice.
Yeah,
that'll be kind of cool. Maybe even play it live.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, we could.
How are you going to handle the bouncing part? Is it going to be bouncing on plastic, or are you going to have something inside it?
So yeah, I want to see, because like plastic trays aren't made from the same material that 3D printers use, right? So it performs really well on cardstock or cardboard inserts,
right?
But I want to see what happens when you try a different material on it.
That's Pipit. So I'm thinking playtest next week, Kickstarter January, delivery February.
Well, why are we not having this before Christmas?
Sounds reasonable to me.
Why is this not a stocking stuffer already, Jay?
Jay, one of the topics we wanted to talk about before we get to your trip to Pax U, unless you have any other news to tell us, any other game news to tell us? Okay.
I don't think so.
It is the Christmas season. And so we were kind of bandying about on our little channel about we're gonna be getting together with family and friends. We're gonna be doing Secret Santas. We're gonna be giving gifts to nieces and nephews, right? Some of them game, some of them don't game. The four of us can give maybe some advice. What games would we give? And since Verla is the overlord, Verla, you wanna? I think it's only appropriate that Verla go first, right?
I go first.
Any objections?
None.
All righty. Turn around.
Oh,
I would give.
She's got visual.
Tipperary. So let me set it aside here.
From Lookout Games, right? Tipperary?
It's from Lookout. Yep, Lookout. It just recently became available in the U.S. This is my mom's copy that she got from Zatu before anybody could get their hands on it here. But I like to call it Planet Unknown Light with sheep and whiskey. So it's kind of got a similar mechanic and a wheel in the middle when you've got two tiles, polyomino shaped tiles in each section that you choose from when it's spun on each turn, and you're trying to build. Everybody has like a base center tile that they all start out with, and you're building out from there, trying to get different terrain types that give you different ways to score, bonuses. Yes, there we go. There's some great pictures. It's really easy to teach. It's easy to learn. And it's, you've got the random tiles, and it's just good, easy fun. Like everybody I know that has learned it wants to play it again immediately. It plays pretty quick, depending on how many people. I mean, if you're playing it 2-player, we can knock it out in like 15 minutes. If you're playing more, maybe a little bit longer, 20, 25, depending on people's AP. But everybody is taking a turn at the same time. You've got the primary person who spins the wheel on their turn and determines, but then everybody is taking a tile all at once and placing it in their board.
It's got a spinner.
I think it's got a spinner. That one looks different than the real one.
It
though.
does.
A little more
Looks
3D.
elevated.
This looks like a prototype version, I think, if I had to guess.
That might be.
I'm trying to get.
So,
There we go.
Yeah, that looks it.
like it.
yeah, that looks
How many
more
of us
like
played it in Auburn for a ChuckCon? I know I did.
I actually didn't play it at that point.
Okay.
And I didn't play it till a couple months
played it
later.
Jake played with you and Kelly, BJ?
Yes, I played with Jake and Kelly, and Cosmic Beat says, tough to check this out. Love Planet Unknown. I know, Jay, you love Planet Unknown.
Oh, I adore Planet Unknown as well.
It's like a fast playing Planet Unknown, right? Don't you think, Verla?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's great. If you don't have time to pull everything out for Planet Unknown, as awesome as it is, it kind of has a lot of components and a lot of things to set up. And this is just so quick and easy. So this is definitely my recommendation, what I would be gifting for people this year.
Tour is fun. Very easy to teach, right? I mean, we learned it basically
easy.
from that sheet that Kelly had printed out. Because I remember, if I remember right, she had like the German version of the game with
possibly
like our sheet. I know everything was in a Ziploc bag because she was trying to do it for travel. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I didn't know. I'm going to show my ignorance here because I'm sure Steve knows this. I didn't know until Glenn Flaherty posted something this week. It's an actual place from where Glenn's family is from.
Yes, Ireland, I think.
It is.
Is it Ireland?
It's a long way to
Scotland?
Tipperary.
Down here.
It's in Ireland.
Is it?
County Tipperary in Ireland.
County
It says
Tipperary.
on the back of the box.
So, I've never been there. I never heard of it. So, but I did like the economic part of it, the little barrels part, and I love the little tile laying. So, yeah, it's a good choice.
And the little sheeple meeples. They're so cute.
That's right, the sheeples. I like that.
Sheeples.
Yeah.
All right, Steve, what about you? What do you got?
Well, just follow up on this. This came to me from my secret Père Noël.
Who could that be?
Who could that possibly be? The jolly old Gumbo himself. Delivered this to me for Secret Santa.
I'm still trying to figure out how you figured it out.
It was the praline.
Oh, the praline.
That kind of did the job.
New Orleans.
Kathy says thank you for by the way.
Oh, tell Kathy thanks. Yeah, and the New Orleans
did not
team,
care about the games, but ate the praline and had it.
and the address, the praline, the Lafayette address, and the
there were
I know nothing about tea. I'm at Champine's Grocery, and I'm trying to find something. So the first one I picked out, by the way, was like a mango honey. No, watermelon honey. Is that
interesting?
That would have been
Interesting.
I would have gone with that.
Good.
But the one that you said is good. I like the caffeine in there too. So that's doing me fine.
I did not know.
But Tipperary is here now and will probably be coming with me to Adam's game night this Saturday. So that's going to be one. I'm glad to hear you say it's an easy teach because I'm going to be the one who has to do it. And
Guys, I'm not the teacher in my game group and amongst you guys, but I feel very confident teaching this one. If I can handle it, anybody can handle it.
Very cool. All right. So we will definitely be playing that on Saturday. My recommendation, I have two. Mine is, I guess, if you're actually buying for somebody else and it needs to be,
that's a good
affordable.
point.
I would say Akropolis would be a good one. This is, again, I love tile laying, just like Verlo chose with Tipperary. This is similarly tile laying, 3D puzzle solving, and you basically get a multiplier based on the number of stars that you've played out there. But then you also multiply that to get your points for each color by the other tiles that you've laid in that color. And then they go higher as they build vertically, they're worth more points.
Just like this.
So it is it's a real puzzle of how do you place for colors. Some things score when they're isolated. Some things score when they're on the edges. Some things score when they're in the longest contiguous connection. But a really, really wonderful game. I would give Akropolis to someone who is ready for something a little bit beyond a simple classic card game or some sort. Want to do a little bit more gaming with the family, but don't necessarily feel, that they want to go deep into rules or a whole lot of take that. This is, the take that will be, you took the tile I wanted, but it's not. It's not mean-spirited in that way. So I think this is a great one. But if you had money to throw around, or let's say you had a family member who really wanted to get something, you wanted to team up to get them into gaming too. My ideal gift to get families playing at the holidays would be Crokinole. Bring your Crokinole board, or get someone, team up to buy one as a family, and then you will be playing that instead of so many of your other board games, and you'll just re-rack and play it again.
Steve's the winner here. Both of those are great choices. Everybody's played Akropolis, right? I think so. Yeah, yeah.
I have now. I played it at ChuckCon this summer. It's the only time I've played it on the table. Now I play it with Nina and Becky all the time on Board Game Arena, and I get stomped.
I won the first time I played on VGA with that group, and I have not even come close since then. Nina is a shark in that game. She's really
Oh, yeah.
She figured out my little
Nina's
strategy
good.
right away, and now she neuters it every single time.
Yeah.
I
You can't spread yourself too thin.
I'm
Too thin in that game.
I always go gold and either red or gold and green or gold and blue, and it's too obvious of a strategy. It's she neuters it. So I'm gonna have to zig instead of zagging.
I finally got a hard
Was that
copy about a
zag?
week ago, and I need to get it to the table so I can figure it out a little bit
Definitely.
better, and maybe I won't be so terrible at it online.
Has anybody played it with with people just kind of casual gamers? Anybody tried that yet? I'm wondering if I could play it during Christmas with the fam.
I haven't tried it yet, but I bet you could.
Yeah, I bet you could, but it might be like it's a combination of two different mechanics that might be hard to wrap your head around. The verticality of it might hurt some heads.
Yeah.
And the idea that when you lay a tile on the top of other tiles, you have to kind of straddle two tiles. People might say, but wait, it fits. But they might think that they have to match tiles underneath. I might say it's for you give it at Christmas time, but play some of the other games and you start playing it around January, February when you come back together. You break them in a little bit, and then they're ready for the next level filler kind of thing.
Jay, have you ever played Crokinole here at the house? I can't remember.
Never played a full game. We messed around with it a little bit.
Yeah. But next time you're in town, we need to play it because I've got it set up
Great.
right here just permanently, so it's ready to go. That is a game that comes out for every holiday party. Like my nieces and nephews, they want to come upstairs because we can play and we can still chat and visit. So
Absolutely.
it's a great one. That's two good choices. Jay, can you top Steve's choices here? We're getting some good Christmas choices.
I don't know about top, but I mean, I did teach Kristen Akropolis, bought it for there's directions. That's how directions work. And I forgot that I'm very good at spatial puzzles. So I had to sort of temper my strategy and like let her understand, okay, this is what you should be doing. Like the first game, she didn't go vertical at all. It was like, you gotta go a little bit higher. That's how you get a little more of a combination. But yeah, I think Akropolis is one that you definitely want to play with the family, or like entry level gamers, right? People who have played, maybe Cascadia or Ton or maybe Unmatched. People who are kind of familiar with a couple of different mechanics in the game, they can handle Akropolis.
Hope you're right, but you got a game for us on that? Speaking of Catan, by the way, I was watching a Christmas movie before I came up here, forgetting what time it was. We were supposed to be doing this, and they said, "Oh, let's do a game night," and they pulled out Catan. They played Catan and Werewolf in the Christmas movie. That was kind of cool. Wow. So, what's your idea? We're talking about games that are good gifts in the holidays. What you got an idea?
Yeah, this was a tough question for me, but I think I'm actually gonna go with Pictomania, which is by CGE, designed by Vlada Chivalto. And what BJ showing is the first edition, but
oh really?
I don't know how different first and second edition are. They look pretty similar.
That's so cute.
Yeah, so there's a giant like dragon on both copies, and it's a drawing game.
Similar, right?
But yeah, so in this game, everyone is given a two-part combination. You get a letter and a number, and based on those, you have to draw a specific thing. But the catch is
that Winston
people are going to be
Churchill?
guess what you draw. And let's say, for example, the four of us were playing. I might have to draw rain, but I need to make it look different from mist or smog or hail. And Verla, you might have a cat, but you need to make it look different from a squirrel or a coon. And so these are kind of like the different potential things that people are drawing, and they're all assigned numbers. So your job is three things: draw really well, but also draw fast and distribute your points to other people's drawing. So it's this like wacky combination of I need to make something that's legible, but I also need to be looking at what other people are doing. And at the same time, I need to remember when I'm done, I have to grab highest point value from this center before anyone else takes it.
Hmm.
So,
I was not very good at this game when we played it at ChuckCon, but man, I had such a good time. Gee, I've heard so many good things about Pictomania, and it totally rocked. I mean, you have to think fast and you have to think out of the box. Look at these cards right here. The difference between saucer and plate and bowl, that'd be pretty tough to think. But give yourself 5 seconds to think of the difference between those. It's pretty
yeah,
tough.
so it's like there's a weird balance between speed and accuracy.
Does that equalize for people's artistic quality that way by making it a race that the best artist might really try to craft something, but they're going to be too slow to not really, get the message across quickly?
I'll tell you, Steve, on my way up here, I played this game with my older brother, his wife, and my wife, Kristen, and I lost every time because my pictures were a little too detailed. I spent a little too long, and they were already done distributing their points. So I got the lower points. I still guessed with
Right.
everybody, true, but I wasn't fast enough because you have to draw yours first. And then when you're done, you get to look at other people's and distribute your points that way. So
Right.
you really got to figure out like what is that define like piece of this, cane instead of a sword or a stick. Like how do I get that
Right.
to realize what I'm drawing in the fastest amount of time?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good choice. So are Jay and I the only ones that have played it?
No, I've played it before, but I know that the challenge in these art games is that you want to make sure that the best artist is not automatically the winner. And how do you balance that with the rules that make it so that there's something that levels the playing field somehow? And I found that the racing kind of, did do that a little bit, but then you also kind of had to you were distracted by what other people were drawing, which could also get in the way of the artist, paying too much attention to their own stuff because you're always scouting. What's that going to be? What's that going to be?
I think there's always a built-in advantage for people that can draw in any game with drawing, but it's minimal in this one because of the speed and because it's really about thinking and lateral thinking from a aspect of here's a clue and what can I make in only 3 or 4 strokes or 5 or 6 strokes that's gonna trigger that response. So that could be somebody who, I think, who's an artist or graphic designer could be very good at that. But I think anybody that's got a creative streak can do that too, or just anybody that can visualize what these things look like in 2D form. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I did not do great at it, but I mean, there was a couple of times where I had a good one and a couple of times where mine totally stunk. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
The real problem and it's not a problem. This is the beauty of the game. The beauty of the game is when 2 or 3 people have kind of similar things and similar issues, or even when one person has what looks like a similar drawing, but is not anything like what it's supposed to represent, But that's where you have that table talk where the person's like, well, what I really meant was this, those are coins falling from the sky,
Yeah,
So-
as BJ is describing, you can see on the cards that there's a 1 through 7 on each of the cards. So you play with 3 of those cards each round, and every player has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So you can only give out 1, 1. You can only give out 1, 2, 1, 3. So if my 4 looks like a 3, but BJ had the 3, then you might screw up your scoring, and then like, BJ, what did you draw? And how does this look like this? It's a great time.
I mean, it's important to draw,
Good
right,
game.
Jay, but it's also important to vote, right? That's where the points come, right?
Good choice.
That's a great choice. All right. And we'll get to the last one. And this is mine. This is one I've been playing a lot recently. So let me see if I can get the cover up real quick. I can't find it. So I'll just share it. This is one that I played. It was one of the ones that when I went to BGG Con, I really wanted to play because it was one of the ones I saw at Essen. It is World Wonders. I think it's coming out Yeah, my version is Arcane Wonders. It had been a Spanish publisher, if I remember right, or Brazilian publisher, and Arcane Wonders picked it up. It is a tile laying game, so it's similar to some of the other games we've talked about. But I think anybody can learn this, and this is why. There's only one thing you do on your turn. Well, two things. Okay, if passing is the second option, but the first option is just to buy something, any one of the tiles, or any one of the little towers, or the roads, and that's it. That's basically your turn. You just pick out one of those things. So while there's always like 9 choices, they're right there in front of you. So I think I could teach anybody, hey, look, you're going to pick one of these tiles. You only have 7 coins, and over a couple of turns, you got to spend your 7 coins on all these different tiles. And the scoring is surprisingly pretty simple. You're going to score for closing in what they call districts. That's basically any one of these colored tiles. You want them completely surrounded by everything that you have, either the sides of the board or the roads and the other buildings. You can only place buildings next to the same colors. And you can, and if you get stuck where you can't put anything more, you can spend 2 coins to get a tower and restart your system again for your city. So you can teach the rules in just a couple of minutes, but gamers are going to enjoy it because there's 2 twists on it. There are public objectives that are kind of crunchy. You can actually leave those out if you're playing with your family, and I think the game still plays well because the public objectives don't really score very many points, just a few points for each one of them. You can leave that out. And the second thing is they have these gorgeous toy-looking monuments, and the monuments are, I mean, everything from the Trojan horse to the Great Wall of China to the Roman Colosseum, and they all look gorgeous on there. And the twist is that they don't cost any money. They cost all your money. Whatever money you have left over in that round, that's what it costs. So a careful planner gets down to 1 or 2 coins and then buys the monument, as long as they fit the monument's requirements. Maybe the monument says you need to put this monument next to the river and next to a blue building. Oh, I've got an open space between the river and my blue building. I'll grab it. But you don't want to do it early in the turn. It's going to cost you 7 coins. That's too expensive, right? So it's that push your luck, where how far can I go before Steve or Jay or Verla take the money? I can see Jay's got the same blue tile with a river there, but he's also at 6 and I'm at 5. I think I can go one more round. I think I can go one more turn before I do that. And then somebody snipes it. It wasn't as prevalent in the 2-player game when Jared and I played it, but in a 4 and 5-player game, oh man, you're constantly, there's that interaction that's not overbearing. I think it's very family friendly interaction, determining how far can I go before I get the monument. So that's World Wonders. The 3 reasons is the rules are easy to teach. It plays well with family and has gamer elements. And number 3, it just looks amazing on the table.
It does.
With all these, look at these monuments. Machu Picchu, I think, is my favorite one. Or I call them the dum-dums because I don't know what else to call them. I don't remember what they're called. So the Isle of Man statues, maybe? What are they called?
Oh, the Moai from Easter Island?
Yeah, from Easter Island.
Yeah.
I call them the dum-dums from that movie. I can't remember which movie it was.
Gotcha.
Jay, you know which movie I'm talking about?
No, not National Treasure. Night at the Museum.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah.
Yes.
So all of them are cute. There's the Roman aqueduct. There's the Great Pyramids. So that they all look. Oh, just ignore that guy. But there's all. He's still in there. So that's World Wonders from Arcane Wonders. I think the world is designed by Z Mendez, and it's available pretty much everywhere. It was kind of hard to get for a while, but Arcane Wonders thinks a lot of it, and supposedly they're going to support the game. So I don't know. Has anybody played it? Did anybody else have any thoughts?
No, haven't played it. Would like to.
Oh wow,
Great.
BJ, what's the max player count on it?
I think it's 5. If I remember right, it's 5.
Big box?
No,
Ticket to ride size
less
box?
than ticket to ride size. A little bit less than a ticket to ride size. Look, it's right here.
Like Cascadia size?
No, not that
Somewhere
one.
in between those two?
Yeah, Starship Captains.
Okay.
So Heaven and Ale, that size.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I guess that's pretty close to a ticket to ride box, right?
Close.
I think so.
Yeah, it looks like ticket to ride size. So
Yep.
that is World Wonders.
Yeah.
Yes,
call.
I've seen some of the critics say, well, it does. It's like every other tiling game, blah, blah. I guess Cascadia is one of my favorite games. Not that it does anything. I've told Randy this. Not that it does anything completely unique, but it does it fantastic, and it does it smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like a game that has been out forever, like just a classic game that you've always played, even though it just came out a year or two. That's how World Wonders reminds me of. World Wonders is like, wow, this game should have been around before. Why didn't anybody think of this? It's got those two little cool twists that I really enjoy.
Very good.
That is World Wonders. All right, let me close this one out. Next up, Jay got a luxury that I didn't get to do, and I don't think Steve got to go this year.
Did not go this year.
I'm sure you and Verla have some questions for Jay about PAX Unplugged. Tell us all about it, Jay.
I absolutely can. So PAX Unplugged is probably my favorite convention. It's the one I try to go to as much as I can, because it was my first convention back in 2019. But yeah, I got to go this year. A little bit of work, a little bit of play. Like I said, I had some sessions in the Unpub room. I was also working for Panda, checking in on client, talking to new clients, seeing how the wind's blowing in the industry. But I also got to see some new games, a couple different booths, and just enjoy the show.
Saw some new stuff.
Yeah, new to me, because you know me, BJ. I don't always know the new hotness. I kind of hear from you and the group, but one of the booths that is on the rise and probably not going to slow down anytime soon is the Ravensburger booth, because Lorcana released a new set of cards, and sure enough, they had a line snaking through the hall. There was their own little section, dedicated to people waiting in line to get the new Mickey the Gathering cards, as I like to call them.
I love Jay's word for it, Mickey the Gathering.
Oh, that's
Rise
great.
of Bloodborne, man, you can't get it anywhere, Jay. You're lucky to have seen it. They've almost sold out here in Lafayette already. There's very few, very little product for it. Did you try it while you were there?
I haven't. I got to try Lorcana at Gen Con, and I'm very good about telling myself not to get hooked on things that have like very, very good possibility for longevity. So luckily my brother, really went in on Dice Throne, so I don't have to do that. That's highly expandable. Lorcana is one that didn't grab me enough to make me want to, invest my life savings, even though Stitch and Genie look, I'd love to, but yeah, it'd be a problem. It'd be a real problem.
Look at this art. I mean, this art is just fantastic. They could have just pulled cells, from all the classic movies, animated features, and all that. But instead, they got new art. In some cases, Jay, I don't know if you've seen some really different art, like giant versions of Tinkerbell. You know what I mean? Things that we don't normally associate with the characters, because they're telling a story through these sets of cards. We don't know what the story is, because it's going to discover as the sets come out. But I do love this game. It's so hard to get product. I'm just kind of waiting till next year to kind of get back into it a little bit. I think we're going to start a league in January again. Has anybody else played it? Anybody? Steve?
I have not. Not being
Verla?
the huge Disney file, that doesn't call out to me so much, but the sound that we're hearing is Dean gasping as we see these things, and hoping that they're going to get to him soon if they're not in his greedy Disney hands already.
I know. It's gorgeous, man. It is gorgeous.
Yeah.
So you did get to, you got the, and just like Gen Con, it was madness around those booths.
It wasn't as crazy as Gen Con.
Timey
it
checking
seemed like
in. What's
they
up,
might
Time
have-
Roller?
Hey, Time Roller, thanks for jumping by. Time Roller, we gotta ask him our traditional Time Roller question. But I
Has he
think
played
he
it?
might have played Lorcana.
Have
I
you
feel like we
played
can't ask him.
when Timey jumps in, whatever game we're playing, we play Stump Timey to see if we played a game that he hasn't played. Jay, I think we've only done it once or twice, right? Where he hasn't actually played the game.
Mhm.
Oh, he's not.
Okay.
Oh, put
Okay.
that on the wall.
Oh.
Not a CCG player. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Same.
That was kind of an unfair one there. I'm not either.
that is a philosophically wise choice.
It's a tough
in many ways.
It's a tough
I have
category.
made the same
Like,
call.
so So BJ probably can't really answer this because he's already in on it, but like
A
Steve
little, not a
Verla,
lot.
well, Stephen Verla, what IP would make you get into a CCG? Like, what's the one IP that you wouldn't be able to resist?
Ooh, that's a great question.
I was going to
It
say
would
Lord of the
be. It
Rings,
would
but
be.
doesn't that exist
Yeah,
already?
that
And I
has
haven't been
that
pulled
exists,
into
and you
it.
haven't gotten it. Yeah.
That's true.
So actually, I
It-
was thinking as
yeah.
you guys were talking about this, like this IP is, what could potentially get me to try it, but I wouldn't be sinking money into it.
Yeah.
But if somebody
The
had,
only-
the cards and they're like, hey, we could just play a game, show me how it works.
You can just
I'd
get
give it a
2
try.
decks and play. They come with starter decks, and you just play them. You
Mhm.
can do that. You don't have to collect them. But
They
Okay.
have a Disney version of playing Commander.
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
they're ready-made decks that you can buy right out the
Okay.
box.
Yeah.
And it actually comes
I
with a
don't-
couple of booster
yeah.
packs because they're trying to, entice you.
The only thing that would come close to maybe make me thinking about a CCG would be something that I know is never going to happen since Terry Pratchett has died.
Oh, can I
And I've
guess? Okay,
decided
never mind.
not. Oh, you knew what it was going to be. It wouldn't have been a guess. It would have been a no. You know this, and your mom would probably say the same.
Mhm.
If it was Discworld, there's so much in there, so much character that could happen that would catch me. But it's not going to happen because that IP is just not going to be released for other games.
I don't know if you
They're
saw
just not
this,
choosing
Jay.
to do that.
Did you see this, Jay? I was thinking about Steve the other day. Somebody posted in that Louisiana Facebook group. They're selling Discworld Ankh-Morpork. Ankh-Morph? Is that how you say it?
Ankh-Morpork.
Ankh-Morpork. And they're selling it, but it's like $350 or $250.
Yeah.
So
That's about
barely
going
played.
rate. Yeah.
Whew, that's rough. That is rough. Yeah, so that would be an IP you might actually want to get a couple
But I don't know
decks
that I
out.
would need to do it because Ankh-Morpork, Discworld Ankh-Morpork is an entirely card-based game anyway. There is a board, but all the art in there and all those characters they already exist. I don't have to go shopping for them or hunting for them. They're in the game already. So I don't know.
There is a board, but that game is all about the characters and
It's all about the characters and the
really
cards.
all about playing the other players. That's kind of what the game
and
is.
control. It's an area control game basically, or but yeah,
I'm assuming
that
it's
would make
like
me think.
It's like the one that I've played, Nancy Narking, where you're trying to figure out what's the end game goal for each of the other players.
Who is
it has
the other
same
person?
thing. Yeah.
They each have a win. They have a person that's their secret personage, and they have a win condition. So you can see what's happening on the board and figure out, oh, you must be blank because you win if you get this. So
that is interesting. I am interested in the second game that you have on the list, though, Jay. If you feel like talking about that one,
I'm interested in
really
it too.
interested in this one.
This was my only PAX failure. So I got there on Friday.
Failure?
I went to the hall and I went looking for Sky Team. Sky Team is by Scorpion Mask, the big headset booth
Le
was
Scorpion
there.
Masque.
They had all the copies, and I made the mistake of not getting it when I first saw it. I thought I just got here. I don't want to carry too much stuff around. Come back. There's tons of copies available. Went back on Saturday, and there was a sign that said Sky Team out of stock. You can go to such and such website. And I was like, now it's time to dive into all of the big conglomerate retail stores that just have games on games on games. See if I can find a copy. And
Cosmic Beat says it's so good, Jay.
Yeah. So Sky Team is a dice manipulation worker placement type of game where it's just for 2 players, strictly 2 players,
and
cooperative. Both co-pilots. Yeah, it's a cooperative game where you're trying to land the plane, and there's multiple scenarios, so you're not just doing once. You can up the difficulty, go to different areas, land different planes, but it's limited communication, which is the kicker there. You have a timer, and you can communicate up until the point when the timer starts. At that point, you're just using dice to keep playing steady or increase and decrease your speed. And it just seems like a great time for 2 people to sit down and try to, work together without talking.
Any interest, Steve Verla? Does it sound interesting?
Yeah, that looks really.
I
totally
actually played this a couple weeks ago.
Oh, really?
I did. At a game day. It was the end of probably 6 or 7 hours of gaming, and the 3 other people had played it. And so I was learning as I went, and I was very tired. But they turned it into teams since we had 4 people. So we had teams of 2 working through it. And like I said, I was really tired at that point. So my thoughts, I need another play, but I would play it again. And I'm not a co-op fan, so that should say something positive for it.
Yeah, it does.
I'm totally into this theme.
I
Jay.
liked the dice manipulation. That definitely made it more interesting to me.
I'm still trying to figure out how the pilot and co-pilot are sitting next to each other and they can't talk. That's a little unusual to me. That would be weird if I went on Southwest Airlines and then they're like, we don't talk to each other. We'll see if we can get you there safely.
Yes.
But thematically, I mean, maybe there's a disconnect there, but it makes sense for the game purposes, right? So
yeah, it did.
But look at that game board. That just looks so. It looks.
The
so
board
realistic.
is pretty cool.
It looks also pretty tight. Like it's not going to take up a massive amount of space, and it seems almost like you're looking at an instrument panel. So that should be kind of claustrophobic and small feeling. I like that.
Yeah. Sky Team. This is a good choice. It's a good choice, Jay.
I want to give that a go. I got a question for you, Jay. Did you have something that you came back thinking, I would love that? And did you have something that you came back thinking, oh, that's going to be the next big thing? Did you see something other non-Disney that was like, you think, oh, that was the buzz here. This is going to be the one that blows up?
Well, sort of. I guess I did. I got to try a new game by a new designer who is seeing some great success. Very, very well deserved. Amon Anderson, and I might be mispronouncing his first name, but he designed Gnome Hollow, which is this new game that's coming out next year in August, I believe, from the op. And it's fantastically designed game. Just receiving all types of praise. That's well deserved. But I got to play his new game, which is called Twinkle Twinkle. We're showing it off, and it's so this is Gnome Hollow.
So cute.
Oh,
right?
That must be
Oh my goodness.
That must be purchased.
Like I'll be honest, I don't know much about Gnome Hollow except it's gorgeous and it's
cute.
well done. Yeah,
it's
that's
gnomes.
kind of all you need to know, right?
Cute little gnomes. And I see tiles, possibly some tile placement. Yeah, I haven't heard of this until this moment, and I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can't find Twinkle Twinkle, so I'm not sure on that one.
Kelly's chiming in.
So Twinkle Twinkle is a spatial puzzle where you've got a 4x5 and you're pulling tiles from a bag, and it's communal. You play at the same time. You're drafting them. So you pull one and then you pass the rest and you place it on your board. So you've got constellations, you've got meteorites, you've got planets, you've got black holes, you've got space invaders, you've got research satellites, and the decisions are great. The point combinations are great. It has all of the things that we love about kind of spatial puzzle tiling, maximization games, and it's space themed, but it has these nice acrylic tiles that you lay on top of your galaxy. So you're kind of like forming this little solar system over like 20 minutes. This is just a wonderfully like slim, really well designed game.
That's cool.
Nice.
I've got his other game, but I don't think this is the one you're talking about. Let me see. Taco, Taunt, Attack, Conquer, and Obsess. So Amon has a way with coming up with games that just very visually appealing. So
Taco, little star.
Yeah. No, I can't find Twinkle.
Be on the lookout.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout for Amon and all of his great games.
Does it look like these are going directly to retail, or is there going to be some sort of crowdfunding?
I think he's probably a designer who wants to see how he can fare in both areas. If publishers are really interested, sure, pitch them out, and if not, then maybe the Kickstarter route. But BJ, maybe next guest on the show, you know, in a couple weeks or a
Great
for a month or
idea.
so.
Yeah,
It's the
that'd be
gumbo
great.
bump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's reach out and see what we can do on that one. Tell me about PAX itself, though. What any? This is your second or third time, so any? Did you notice anything different? Any tips for people that haven't been before?
Yeah, so if you haven't been to PAX before, it's the last convention, like larger convention of the season. And as far as I've seen it before, it's been pretty chill, right? You kind of just go, it's holiday season. Philadelphia has a nice Christmas market. Reading Terminal Market has great food right underneath the convention center. It's kind of like a perfect little getaway, even for gnomes, right? You might spot a couple gnomes here and there. Um, but what I noticed that was really different about this PAX is that it was crowded. Like attendance was up. The line on Friday morning wrapped around the building 3 times,
Oh
right?
wow.
People were just people were there, and there's a couple different theories of why that might be. Mostly with just like the holiday season, just people feeling like, you know, they're getting back into games, coming out of the pandemic. Also, like Gen Con and Essen were really crowded this year, so maybe a couple people, you know, decided not to go, and PAX was their sort of rejuvenation. And you know, I'm gonna skip the big ones, go to the kind small one this year.
How, for somebody that hasn't been to that one, how does it compare, say, to like BGG Con?
Yeah, so PAX has a pretty sizable vendor area. It has a lot of area.
Charlotte's calling you out, by the way. Pretty sure J Bell was like a ghost during the convention. I know a few folks who didn't even know he was there. But
Yeah,
apparently you ran into
yeah,
Charlotte.
yeah. Charlotte is my wonderful friend from Louisville, and she works with the team over at Flat Out and volunteering for them. And
Oh, cool.
she can give an A+ top of the line pitch for Fit to Print. If you
Nice.
don't already love the game, hear her talk about it, and I guarantee you'll walk away with a copy. But so yeah, PAX has a ton of like open play areas, like just tables upon tables upon tables for you to grab a game and sit down with some friends. It's it's really balanced, I'd say, as far as like what you can do there.
Yeah.
But it's
Do they have a game library like BGG, or is it just whatever you buy at the vendor booths? You can go play
I think they
those.
do have a checkout area, yeah. And
There is a
I know they have
yeah.
it's like tables that you can just go and sit at, right? And there's already game set up there.
Yeah.
So they do have open
Yeah.
gaming then.
Oh, they do. And the library is a pretty big library, but it's a process to go through. If I remember correctly, last time I was there, you had to look around at the games and getting through to be able to see all the stuff that was at the library, because it's not on shelves, it's out on tables.
Okay.
So digging
Okay.
through and looking under piles was not the easiest way to go about getting games to the table. A lot of people, I think, were more likely to have games that they had purchased, crack them open, and play them there too. But
Gotcha.
it seemed like it was kind of half and half to me, vendor versus play space.
Did they announce any numbers?
I don't know that they have. If they have, I haven't seen them.
I would be curious. It looked like it definitely passed up BGG Con a long time ago, but it looked like it was approaching Origins or bigger than Origins. And
I'd say so.
Charlotte said the free play area was so crowded. I heard folks were desperate to grab empty tables. That's always tough. It's one of the downsides of going to Gen Con. There, it's tough to find open tables to play. Once you've gone for, after a while, you learn about places like the third floor and the JW Marriott or different other places that are open. But Berto will tell you, BGG Con and Dice Tower and all these other cons like in Origins, they have that it's about playing games to me more than shopping. Although we do some shopping though, right, Berto? I mean, you can't help it.
Yeah. It's a lot. I mean, I haven't been to the other ones like Gen Con or PAX or anything. But from what I hear about those, it seems like BGG Con really doesn't have nearly the vendor presence in comparison proportionally. So yeah, I was curious because I've been seeing posts on in Facebook game groups and everything as well, of people that went to PAX and were like disappointed because it sounds like they didn't have the free play experience that they were expecting based on BGG experiences. So
Mark Rhodes
Yeah,
did a video
definitely not as
walkthrough,
big
Jay,
as-
of Mark Rhodes from All Play did a video walkthrough of the vendor hall, and I was impressed. That's a pretty big vendor hall. In fact, what I liked is that they had some wide open spaces for walkways. I don't know what it was like when it opened because he was doing this while they were still setting up. But it feels like you wouldn't be on top of each other like you are at Gen Con, you know?
Definitely not. Definitely not. I think it could get, crowded lunchtime or 2 o'clock on Saturday, but it doesn't stay like that the whole time.
Yeah. There's room around the edges to move on the outside of the hall, where it usually tends to be like more, think about these as streets. There's like avenues on the outside, and then the streets themselves can get kind of clogged, especially if it's a busy, it just happens to be a hot street. But there's down the middle, and then like 3 separate big ones, and then there's roads, alleys off of that. And it can get crowded.
Is this the big convention for the Northeast, basically? Or is there something similar for New York, Boston, that whole corridor?
PAX East is, but that's not purely board gaming.
So
it's
PAX,
probably the Northeast version.
Basically, and from New York or Philly or any of those places, to get to Philly, it's a train ride away, right? I mean, it's relatively easy to get there.
It's about 2.5 hour drive for me.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Pulls in folks
Not bad at all.
from Boston, North Carolina, DC area, obviously. I got to hang out with, Aaron Bradley.
Hey, thank you, Hexstar. Dragon
Very cool.
said, caught the written review of Apiary, saw you were live, thought to stop by. Hey, look, come by anytime. We love chatting. So thank you. And thank you for reading the blog. It's always nice to know there's 1 or 2 people out there. So.
You're not just talking into the ether.
Yeah, no. Like I'm writing these things, and you're like, you're wondering who's on the other side reading them. So that's always interesting. Back to what you were saying, Jay.
Yeah, no, just mostly that PAX is one of my favorite conventions because I get to see so many of my friends, and one of my good friends all the way from the West Coast, Amy Bayo, owner of Pink Tiger Games, actually went to PAX for the second year. I think this was her second time there. And I remember passing by her area, and she was always chatting with people. And Amy is an amazing saleswoman. Her products are great. Her games are conversational games, right? They're really intro level. Want you to, have a good time chatting with people. If you're looking for holiday gift, check out Pink Tiger Games.
I think she's on Ludology this episode. I think.
Oh, okay.
If I remember right, there's a good interview. I'm pretty sure it's Ludology, but it's a really good interview if you guys haven't listened to it. So check that out. Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Pink Tiger, they have any? Does Amy have anything coming out? Anything we need to keep an eye out on?
Her most recent Kickstarter was a few months ago for her game. It might have been Cloud 9 was the most recent release. She does them so frequently and so well that I can't remember which one, but I think Cloud 9 was the most recent game that she did. Really breaking the mold, and sort of I think that a lot of gamers have the idea that conversational games aren't really games, and Amy completely shatters that idea, totally.
Speaking of conversation, there's an elephant in the room that you have not addressed yet, J Bell. The most important thing at PAX Unplugged. Did you run into Philip Millman? I don't even know why we've wasted the rest of this show and haven't talked about our friend Philip Millman yet. Did you run into him? Did you get a picture with Ralph? Did you?
Well, he doesn't have Ralph anymore.
Well, he took a picture with it though. He did take a picture.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Philip did not have a chance to run into each other.
What?
Unfortunately.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. He had some things that came up, and we didn't have a chance to meet. So maybe next time.
Well, thanks for stopping by. Lone Shark says Amy is sunshine personified.
That's
a good tagline. That's a good.
If you're not following on Facebook, you should, because I see her fashion and I'm just I wish I was as cool as Amy. It's ridiculous.
Well, I'm sorry you didn't get.
Is she in Portland, Jay?
I think she might be. I can remember if it was
she might
Portland
be.
or Seattle.
I've seen some stuff of hers through a mutual friend, Catherine Dreyer. I don't know if you met her at PAX U.
Yes.
Jay knows.
She's in
Jay knows
Portland.
Catherine. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I've been
Mhm.
friends with her for a while. We've yet to meet in person, but yeah, I think it's through her posts. I've seen Amy's stuff, and it seems very colorful. And just this little comment about sunshine personified kind of
Mhm.
matches the impression I've had.
Sounds right.
Let's keep an eye out for Pink Tiger Games and to see what they have come out.
Mhm.
Good call.
I do have something to get to, but before that, you talked about running into Flat Out Games. I've never met them in person. I've only just talked on screen, or before and after the show, or a couple of other interviews with them. But did you get a chance to play Nocturne?
Not get a chance to play Nocturne. I went by the booth and there were other people playing Nocturne. It was very, very hot.
It knows everyone.
Yeah, it's true.
I've played Nocturne like 3 or 4 times now, and the more I play it, the more I like it. And what I really was impressed with it is that it plays well at 2 players. I would not have expected a Reiner Knizia style bidding type of game would play well with 2 players, but it really does. It's
Interesting
good.
thing about Nocturne, it's a new mechanic I've never seen before. Every time you play it, there's different rules.
Okay, that is fair.
I've never seen this in a game before. It's pretty remarkable.
We're 3 for 3 on Nocturne, and we played it 3 different ways. Oh man! To be fair, if you watched the last stream, I even read the rule out that Sean said had given content creators so much trouble. But
understood.
Oh man, I had to redo the video twice to get it right.
Oh no!
I had to give you a little bit of the business on that.
That wasn't there.
That's totally fair. That's totally fair. Oh, I hate getting that one. Broke my heart because I think Jared was so upset, and I think that rule, had we played it correctly, I think he would have. He did, by the way, after the show. You got to understand. I mean, Jared's doing a character, right? You know what I mean? He's doing a bit, a little bit, but that is the true gamer coming out. He was hot about it, but he is playing it up a little bit. After the stream, he was like, I really did like it. It's just I wish they'd fix that. And then we found out, that's because we played it wrong. Is it even there you go. Thank you. Is it even a board game if you didn't play it incorrectly? I mean, come on. We're playing with paper rules, you know what I mean, that are still changing. But I was actually
you can have several pancake games in that scenario.
Sure.
Yeah,
more pancakes are better.
All right. Well, Jay, this is a board game show, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have to play a game. Steve has been working for 6 months on this game because we knew that you were coming in. So I'm going to let Steve take it away with the board game. Well, actually, no, I'm in charge of the board game tonight. Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to play a game that we've never done on the show before.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So how many pancakes does it take? How many pancakes can you eat, Kelly? I can eat a whole stack of them, right? Hexstar Dragon met Connie. Ran into people who stopped by to check out API but didn't have time and energy to meet with as many people. Okay, I got to know. So Hexstar, are you involved with API? Because actually, Steve and I tried to get Connie on the show. I don't think we've ever been successful. I'd love to have Connie on the show.
Well, there you go. There's the answer.
Oh my God. Oh, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Look, I don't want to spoil anything, and it's not because you're on the show, the Star Dragon, but API is going to make the Florida Ludo Awards this year. I've enjoyed it that much. I don't know if anybody, the most coveted awards in board gaming, the Florida Ludos. Come on, man. No, I'm really digging it. The more I play it, the more I really like it.
The Florida Ludos, is that a Girl Scout cookie?
It almost. All right, so we're going to play a board game. And this is one that the chat crew can play with us. We're just going to do a short version because I don't know if it's even going to work. I call it Who Said That?
This is inspiring. This is inspiring.
Who said that? Instead of who dat, it's who said that. All right. So, and this is a J theme game. So I only had time to do a few questions. So it's not going to take long, but anybody can play this. So Jay, I want you to go last though. Give the chat crew, give Berla and Steve a chance because I think you're going to know most of these, if not all of them. All right. Ready?
No idea.
Who said this about gaming? So these are quotes from people that I've pulled, and you have to figure out who said it. And I don't want you to guess, Jay. I want Steve and Verla in the chat crew to guess first because we'll see. But then I'll give you a hint. So we're going to throw the quote out. We'll let it bubble, see if anybody gets it. Then I'll give you a hint. In other words, I'll give you 2 choices, and then Jay will pick from one of the 2 after we've all tried to guess. Okay. Now, here we go. The first quote is, "Devils roll the dice, angels roll their eye." Steve, Verla, any idea?
You're taking me knowing everyone to a whole nother level. Okay, like
All right. Does anybody have any idea? Devils roll the dice, angels roll the eye. I'm figuring it might be tough, so let me give you two possible answers. Okay.
a loan shark's gonna get.
Oh, you think so?
Well, absolutely.
All right. Let's see. Kelly says Will Wheaton. Interesting choice. But I'll give you your two choices. It's either Steph Hodge from All the Meeples of the Rainbow or Taylor Swift. All right, Burley, your guess.
I'm going
What
to
you got?
vote Taylor Swift.
Steve,
Steph Hodge.
Jay,
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
it's Taylor Swift from her famous song "Cruel Summer."
Cruel Summer,
Devils
yeah.
roll the dice, angels roll their eye. Okay, that's question number one. We're playing the game tonight. Who said that? Who
All
said
right.
that?
I'm going to have to go silent on this from this point forward because now I'm going to start thinking of the most absurd person who could have possibly said
I was
that.
hoping
They
you would.
actually
Here we
get
go.
difficult.
I was
Yeah.
hoping you would. All right, here we go. Second quote. If it's a game you need to win, the best thing to do is just walk away from the table. Who said
Kenny
that?
Rogers.
Good choice, but not anybody else. Berla? Who said it?
Say it again.
If it's a game you need to win, the best thing to do is just walk away from the table. Who said that? Who said that? That. All right, I think y'all are
This again
stumped. So I'm
feels
going to
like
give
a
you your
lyric.
two choices. Here's your two choices. It's either, by the way, I pulled all these from followers of Jay on social media. So Clay Ross, Doyle Brunson. Doyle Brunson's
Deep
a great
cut.
choice. Kelly, good
Deep
one.
cut.
That's a good one. I like that one. It's either Clay Ross from Capstone Games or Taylor Swift. Berla, do you have a choice?
The theme
Taylor.
emerges.
She says Taylor Swift. Jay, what do you think?
I think you have a very narrow mind about what music I listen to. Like, this is not the artist.
I didn't
So,
have enough time.
I mean, where's Lawrence?
I didn't have enough time
Yeah,
to
right.
pull Lawrence. Oh,
Ew.
I was even going to pull some Tiny Habits, but I wasn't sure if you like Tiny Habits, so I don't know.
Oh my
man.
god, I have no idea what that is.
Hey, is that Evan?
Oh
Thanks.
yeah, there is Evan. Is that
Hey,
Evan
Evan.
checking in?
Is that Evan?
All right, so your guess is who,
Jay?
Jay?
I'm gonna go with Taylor Swift. I
Taylor
guess.
Swift. It is. It is
I don't
Taylor
even-
Swift.
I don't even know this song, BJ.
It's not a
Is it-
song. It's just a
Do we
quote.
still
that
have
she
Hex
has
Star Dragon? Do we
my
still have Hex Star
God.
Dragon? Do we still have a loan shark? Or
about
have you driven them away?
probably driven them all
I
away.
think
All right.
yeah.
If it's a game you need to win, the best thing to do is just walk away from the table. You can find that on quotefancy.com/Taylor Swift. So it's
I'm just
Yeah.
going with the pattern myself.
I think Hex Star
Yeah.
Dragon's already figured me out here. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Number 3 in this game. I'm going to stump you on this one, Jay. The quote in our number 3 part of Who Said That? A ruthless game unless you play it good and right. Who said that? Steve.
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce. That's okay. Now that's a great callback. Berla, you got a choice? Anybody? Chat
Taylor
crew?
Swift.
Who said that? She says Taylor Swift. I'll give you your two choices because I can never be driven away if Jay is involved. Also Taylor Swift. So I'm sensing a pattern in the answers here, but I'm going to tell you the two choices are Philip Millman talking about PAX Premiere or Taylor Swift.
Oh, in that case, what's the quote again?
A ruthless game unless you play it good and right. Is it Philip Millman talking about PAX Premiere or Taylor Swift?
That could be Philip.
I have no
Yeah,
idea.
you're gonna have to commit.
I'm gonna say Taylor Swift. Why? Ride the train till the
Taylor
wheels
Swift,
fall
it
off.
is. It is Taylor Swift. I forgot to write down what song it's from, but I think it's "Love, a Ruthless Game Unless You Play It Good and Right." Love is a ruthless game. I can't remember which song that's from. Sorry, I didn't have time to finish that one. Okay, last one of the night. Are we ready for the last?
Taylor Swift.
Oh,
Oh, Verla.
All right, that's it. No, the last one. I think I'm gonna stump you all on this one. Okay.
Okay.
The quote number 4 from the game. Who said that? Let the games begin. Let the games begin. Let the games. Who said that? A lone shark said Nocturne is secretly Taylor Swift themed, so maybe that's where he got the inspiration for the game. Patet, maybe. All right. So, any guesses on who said that? I'll give you your 2 choices. Is it Candace Harris from Board Game Geek or Taylor Swift?
T Swizzle.
both.
What is it?
Tay-Tay.
It's Tay-Tay. It is Taylor Swift, yes. And I think I've run the bit into the ground, Steve.
Yeah.
People think the Queen Bee in Apiary is Beyonce, but maybe it's actually T Swift.
That's right.
And that
we if only we knew somebody who knew Connie who could find out the answer to that question.
If only we knew. And that is
Maybe Hexstar Dragon, maybe you could put us in contact and we can ask that question.
We could ask that question. That is the Who Said That game presented by our friends at Game Toppers LLC. Don't forget, make your game nights a showstopper when you listen to Taylor Swift. All right, board gamers, that's it for another episode of Gumbo Live. Hey, Jay, how can they get in touch with you if they have more questions about Taylor Swift or any of her albums or quotes or games in general?
Was this some attempt to draw her into the chat and increase your viewer count? Like,
I was going to do Lawrence. I was actually going to go to you know where I got the idea from? You posted your Spotify. I think it was you that posted your Spotify thing.
Taylor Swift's number 3 on there. You had
Yeah.
So I
was
saw that.
Lawrence was 2. Jay.
Who's your favorite artist and why is it Taylor Swift? So when I saw that, I was like, that's a great idea for a game. I'll go through his list. I'll find out quotes from their songs or interviews that have board game related, right? And then I ran out of time. So I could only come up with those 4. So karma.
He
So,
tried. It was funny.
How can they get in touch with you? I mean, I'm all about the bit, right? I mean, it's all about the show.
Yeah, you can find me on any social media channel at hashtag or maybe hashtag VJ Bell, but at VJ Bell.
You're on Bluesky, right?
I'm on Blue Sky. I'm on Facebook. I'm barely on Instagram. I'm barely on Twix, but I'm still there.
I like to call it Bluesky. You know, like a brewski. Yeah. I think that's where they got the name. People say it has something to do with the clouds, but no, it's like Bluesky, like brewski.
Yeah, which is why you like playing Ski Team.
Ski Team. Steve, how can they get in touch with you? They need to talk to you?
No, reach out through the Gumbo Live. That's the way to find me. You can find me on social media is largely through this.
And Berla, you're on Instagram mostly? Yeah.
Instagram mostly. Facebook.
And the handle?
The Board Game Ambassador.
There it is. All right. Catch us on Twitch, twitch.tv/BoardGameGumbo. On nights that we don't do Gumbo Live, we stream your games live on Twitch. And hopefully I'll have a rare appearance from DJ Bell soon. Maybe even play Pippet live on stream.
Great idea.
Fun, I think.
That would be fun. Yeah. All right. I am BJ from Board Game Gumbo. Thanks everybody in the chat crew. This is a lot of fun. Hopefully you got some good ideas for Christmas and also a little bit inside information on Pax U. Until next time, Laissez, bon temps, rouler.
Bye, friends.